Good morning, my friends. If you're here in the future, I hope you're doing well. Hope the future itself is well. And today, we are going to be playing some more Dwarf Fortress. This is my comfort game right now. It's a Monday. We all need some comfort, right? Oh, what I'm realizing is this is the capital city, and there's a lot of stuff that I've just been very lazy about. It's honestly kind of impressive that they still consider this the best. When humans build underground, eh? Dwarves seem to like our style. Alright, so last time we already did the trading. We even moved that. Looks like we have more pets to place though. I think I'm gonna spend some time looking around before I even unpause this time. So there's things like, okay, it feels like the dwarves aren't really coming over here. But we can change that. We can change their behavior by incentivizing them with things. Like, all we have to do is add another tavern or even a dining hall. They don't really have many dining halls right now. They'll be coming over here a lot more often. Even in the temple area, it would make sense to have a dormitory. An area for the homeless to stay that's decent. Not that our smooth walls and floors aren't nice, although more floors smooth than walls. That's mostly because a lot of this can be turned into blocks. That's the kind of thing I'm looking at today. A lot of the stuff that I've been kind of putting off. Like, genuine optimization in this fort is smoothing the floors and getting blocks down, because the dwarves hate falling asleep on the dirt or the rough stone, things like that. They will have bad memories about it. They don't like it. There, we got a black bear. We're gonna have to put some more animals up for adoption too. Probably makes dwarves happier having pets, right? Some of them they're just not gonna go for unless they particularly like the animals. Like the cat whisperer, so many cats adopted him because he likes cats. He knows how to treat them. Okay. We need to put some furniture down too. Stuff like this, where it's like, until I unpause, they're not really gonna be making more of them. And we only have so many to place. So once we've placed all of this, we can move on to the next optimization. Because we've got a lot of stuff. We got kind of a backlog of stuff. If we're not pausing time occasionally to arrange the dwarves and actually, like, put down orders to place things, we gotta keep them organized. Yeah, if we're not doing this, then it actually slows down production. Sometimes we want that, sometimes we don't. Dwarf Overlord. I like this title. I was just saying, apparently they like how I build things. Because I have been so lazy about this fort, and yet they've made it the capital city. They're like, this is the best that we have. Send the king there immediately. Now I'm feeling a sense of responsibility. We could look into soaps and stuff like that too. Because part of this optimization, I'm going to be taking a look at the crafting area. Probably moving some stuff around. Some of it, we finally got the stockpiles working though. Yeah, this situation is something that can be adjusted. See, annoyed after sleeping on a rough cave floor. They hates it. There's a child playing in the treasure room. They would, wouldn't they? Ooh, are our people back? Oh, thank you. I say lazy, but it looks really well designed, Arm says. I do appreciate that. Some of this, it's just habit. Like, these hospital rooms here, this design happened because were creatures were a problem for me for a while when I first started. And then, like, this isn't even the right design. I actually didn't space it correctly. It's 8 by 12, I think it was, for the right amount of space. You get a feeling that I would have loved Frostpunk. Possibly. Possibly. I used to really like Stronghold. Oh, what else? Gee, like the early games that I played, it was mostly like Baldur's Gate. But I remember starting Quest for Glory, and then I was just too young to figure out the puzzles. So I got stuck with that. What else? The original Warcraft games. Like, not World of Warcraft, but the Warcraft games. I really liked those. Ducklings have hatched. Yeah, we have a bunch of baby birds now that the food production is stalling. Pig sweetbread stew. We are also ending up with rotten stuff, though, it looks like. Because we can't unpack it under here. Very smelly, very smelly. I'll have to look into Frostpunk. This GOG can be really good for the way that you're saying it. It sounds like an older game. Oh no, it's 2018. That's not even that long ago. Frostpunk is a 2018 city building survival game. There. Society survival game. Oh! This! I've seen videos of this. I'm pretty sure I've seen videos of people playing this. I probably would enjoy this still. Keeping that tab open. Just because that's something I watched a video of somebody playing it, thought it looked really interesting, and then completely forgot about it, like, its existence. The first one is better than the second, in your opinion, and kind of has some choices that make you question your dictator life. See, I like that. I like that. I feel like game probably should make you question that. Oh, wow. Baron Consort of Rack Circles. You what? We've got a scholar, a diplomat, and a Baron Consort. He's come seeking work as a scholar. He heard the Inky Palace was the place for long-term scholarship. People are coming specifically for the library. They're here to learn. I actually really love that. But where's Rack Circles? It's a weird name. Okay, it's not one of our areas. Doesn't look like. He might eventually ask to join the fort. Looks like we filled the well recently. Wow, we're gonna have to eat some turkey this fall. That is quite a few birds right there. Yeah, I feel like actually spreading out our food supply a little bit more would probably be a good thing. I may end up changing the design down here, but I think I just want to see it. I just want to see it how we have it, if I'm going to consider reconstructing it. And to make sure we have enough blocks to reconstruct it. I could change it to the design that I prefer, that I had just forgotten when I first lettered into this. We're gonna have to figure out all of that, but that's gonna be easier to do through trading. So someone's probably gonna show up to trade with us during this. We've got several trade partners. I am actually quite concerned. Wow. Yeah. I sent out a bunch more people to join that raid because it was taking so long. I have no idea when they're gonna be back. Yeah. Someone wants to join Zolban Earthwall. The Burying Consort. You know what? Yeah, he wants to study. We already had a look at him. Once more, we don't have any writing materials left, but we have 108 written objects now. A bunch of our scholars are away. Read my thoughts on fire. Oh, not the rotten alpaca cheese. Now we could make some of these tables dining halls, but they'd have to run all the way over here, grab their food, and run in there, unless we stored some foods in here. Could just have the guild halls offer refreshments. That might get more people in. Let's try it. It's not something I've tried before. gotta choose having more of one thing if we're only gonna line one wall with it. So I'm gonna choose more places for food, just because we tend to have less drink. Yeah. No. Stockpile, that's what I'm on right now. There we go. Now, drink. And then we can kind of just expand that. I'm gonna go with all of the ones that have tables and stuff set up already. Yeah, that's the prepared meals. And yeah, hopefully if we turn them all basically into dining halls, as well as guild halls. It's going to take away value if I actually turned them into dining halls. So what if I just didn't? What if I just stored stuff there for them so they don't have to make the big run to get it? Oops. Yes, I need the drink stockpile. Add a few of them. Hopefully, this leads to some more learning dwarves. Some more motivated, well-fed dwarves. Where did they move all the toys? Where have you moved all the finished goods? Have you really put them all down here? What are you guys doing? These dwarves interpret things very strangely sometimes. So this is probably where they're putting all the finished goods. Doesn't explain whether they would move all of the toys off of there, unless all of the children just kind of grabbed the toys and ran. We'll exclude toys from here and hopefully they'll bring them back up. That has to be the only place they can store toys. Unless we add another tavern or somewhere like that. So the most annoying thing here is just gonna be getting the floor down. Basically. Because it's going to cost a lot of blocks. We got one spider down here. We do have some silk building up. And again, no spider corpses, which is very promising. In my mind, at least. We've got granite, kimberlite. There's lots of materials that we could go for. I think I basically just want to... Whoa. Oh no. Oh no. The milker jumps away from the speed. Are they having a food fight? It started as a food fight. It started as a food fight. This is my fight too. This might require an answer. Oh, no, dude. I laugh in the face of death. The miller and the milker having a fight. Yeah, it's just a fist fight now. The captain of the guard is away. Oh no. Pretty sure the chief medical dwarf is away too. Yeah. We're just going to have to replace him right now. If we can. Nope, we can't. 2, 2, 1. What is happening? It'll be 2, 2, 1 right now, probably because of the squads that we have away in combat. But right now, there's a huge bar fight happening. But yeah, this mission, we have like 8 squads away on this raid. Because the first 4 that we sent were taking way too long. Yeah, a child started throwing a tantrum in the bar and started a food fight, which has now led to a bar fight in which 2 dwarves have gone into martial trances. And the child's still in the fight. Overcome by terror. Oh. Why are you in this fight, dude? Oh no. Yeah, our captain of the guard is gone. Our chief medical dwarf is gone. Yeah, the bar warriors are at it. I think we just need to let them fight it out. It said the straight you vomits. Yeah. Somebody involved it in the fight. I'm glad that the jaguar isn't over there. Yeah, we have... Oh boy, we got 1 dead already. And see, this is why I had the, Oh no. The bar fight ended up going into the barracks, it looks like. And see, I had the barracks across from there because I figured it would keep them in line. You know, it would keep them aware that, there's warriors right across the hall, you know? Yeah, it's really not helping the atmosphere. Oh, no. An engraver is dead. That's not good. That's not good. An administrator. Guys, why? Not currently, there's not enough of them. Oh, wow. Look at the hospital. We really, really do need our chief medical dwarf to come back. Because we can't actually replace them currently either. Fight's still going on. I was attacked! I'm panicking! I'm panicking! The dwarven child attacks the word burner. They're being attacked by... This is what I'm saying, where dwarven children... Their tantrums are legendary. just infamously. The scribe looks sick. Dwarven child collapses and falls to the ground from overexertion. And then keeps getting interrupted by the fight. Let's just check the justice menu. No witnesses. Nobody saw shit. Ain't nobody saw shit. That many dead. Another fishery worker now. Guys, this is the worst time that you could have started a bar fight over a child starting a food fight. Look at 4 very angry dwarves now, I bet. I bet. Piles of vomit all over. At least this guy is still hauling people in. Oh no, he's going to eat. I brought somebody to rest in bed. I feel such sympathy. Everybody's taking a bath. I wonder why it could be. Could it be because they're covered in blood now? Caravan. Well, that's nice. How pleasant. Actually, didn't say elven caravan. Yeah, these appear to be dwarfs. They brought 2 wagons. Alright, we'll bring them a bunch of food. Just a whole bunch of food. But also those bins that we need to organize. We'll bring those to them. And I'll spend a little bit of time in that menu, at least. But I don't want to spend the whole time doing that. Spending an hour organizing bins is, not fun. Like, dwarves should be spending their time, not me spending my real life time sorting a bin. Seed pots are worth quite a bit. I'm not gonna sell them, my seeds. But the seeds are worth quite a bit. 6 people just die in that fight, pretty much. Yeah, a whole bunch of people just died, and I'm like, okay. Welcome! Take a look at our lively inn. Don't mind the piles of blood and vomit. And the corpses. Never mind that. Bins. Finished goods bin. Wow, that's a lot of value. If it has some kind of artifact level item in it, then they're probably gonna want it really badly. They always try to insist that you give it to them if you put it in the trading area. They're like, if it's on the table, I want it. What do I have to do to eat that? It's like, I didn't mean to put it on the table. I don't even want you to know it exists. Oh yeah, we display stuff in our guild halls. We're not too shy about our artifacts, a lot of them. The cat and pig room is quite something. I wasn't expecting it to look quite like this. But it is now the biggest room on the noble area. Like, even if you were to include the bedroom and dining room that they get. Oh my. We made a bit of a mess, didn't we? See, none of these people can be worked on. All these fuckers are gone. I need them back. I have not seen that screen before. Hundreds of hours in this game, and I still haven't opened that particular tab. Yeah, I guess let's check the tombs. We're gonna have to dig, or actually we don't have to dig more, but we can add more. We did end up creating this sculpture garden. We've got an iron statue of a pig, iron statue of a hen, an iron statue of an alpaca down here. Visiting Marksdorf. Well, it would be nice if you don't encourage the bar fights, buddy. There, we got a few more available. Since that seems to be a bit more of a common occurrence than it was. This person's on a table, this person's on a table instead of the beds. I wonder if that's because they ran out of beds to bring them to, or because they're actually being treated. Diagnosis required still, yeah. Yep. We just gotta take the chief medical dwarf out of that squad. I should have checked. One of those things. I just should have checked. But I am going to turn these into blocks. Some of that's made of dirt. It'll be good to replace anyway. Yes, how is the game Devin going? Right, they finished bringing the stuff over to the trade depot. It'll be nice to give the library some nice walls. Still have no idea what I want to make them out of. For now, we can start simple. A lot of this stuff can be replaced and probably will be replaced since we can make reinforced walls now. It's going well, you think? I mean, this is awesome news. And that's as much as we'd be able to tell either way. I think I'm gonna dig this down a bit more. Mostly because I'm curious. Let's see, I gotta think about this. Because we do actually know where the obsidian is here. And also, there is a way down here. We have, up until now, not breached the caverns, and I'm pretty sure there are multiple forgotten beasts in the caverns that have access to both floors. I'm gonna hold back on that. You know what? If I'm willing to make a few dwarves at a time slightly uncomfortable. Then we can do this floor a lot more efficiently as well. There's like a few spare gemstones and stuff like that. The native platinum probably being the biggest bits of it. You'll have to tell us more. Yeah, like, bring us back the info arm. Yeah. I think I'm just happiest when people who actually play games are making the games. Because I know that people who don't play games do not make good games. Lots to pick through here. Guess we're starting with the bins. We've got instruments in here and stuff like that. That's probably why. This is probably the one that's worth a lot with all the gems and... Lion leather quiver. You feel like AAA studios have grown a little out of touch? I feel like they've grown a lot out of touch. It's wild to me just how out of touch they can be while still making money. Plenty of instruments. They're always bringing us instruments. No animals that we don't already have, it looks like, though. We will take all of their barrels, though. That just feels like a safe bet. Steel spear looks good. Steel mace we'll take. Some steel picks, because we're not actually producing them right now. Come to think of it. Listen to that money pouring. Buy some socks. And some bigger shield, because we're not really producing those either. But some of our dwarves might want that. AAA studios have forgotten what it means to make games. They're trying to make Hollywood movies and charge us an extortionate price to watch them. Yeah, I've definitely seen that too. Oh, what is that game? There's one, like, there's several at this point. Like, Heavy Rain, I think, started down this angle. But then Life is Strange, I think that's what it was. Kind of just sent it down that angle, as far as, like, you are watching a movie, pretty much, that is somewhat interactive. And, like, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the movie. But that's what it was to me. I could have just watched that and been perfectly happy. It felt like the wrong format. Oh yeah, step ladders. I forgot about that. I don't know if we have all of these already, but we'll buy them. Why not? If we have extra copies, then okay. Yeah. We could start selling them. Alright, I'm sick of sorting through bins. Really sick of sorting through bins, so I would like to just skip that part. Sorted through enough now, thank you very much. Oh, I have to sort through more because I only brought bins. I see what I've done to myself. Fine. Fine. Why did we pack clothing in there, I wonder? Besides the broken stuff. Thinking I want to make it so that the furniture goes down into the deeper storage, like the larger areas, and then the smaller craft stuff sort of moves upwards towards the trading station. I've played around with designs where it's basically a big treasure stockpile right next to where we trade. And technically, it's within the fort. Like, we can close the front door, and this area will be nice and safe. but also, we have to be careful about the kind of stuff that ends up there, I feel like. I might do a bit of that here. Just because it would be so much easier to get all the stuff ready for trading. Because the food stuff is right across the hall as well. That's a lot of what we trade when we can. I might ask them for less. I hate sorting through bins. I have to click everything one by one by one because there's stuff in this bin that I don't want to give them. It's all kind of gotten mixed together. But then there is a bunch of stuff in here that I want to give them. Or sell them anyway. Not giving it away for free. Although the broken clothes I totally would give away for free. I might want to make a garbage area. Considering that we do actually get a little bit of money from selling the stuff, even though it's absolutely worthless to us. The broken clothes are like worse than garbage. They actively make the dwarves unhappy. To wear them, but still. The toys are actually worth quite a bit. I mean, yes, it's iron, but come on. Sure, we'll sell one. Okay, so a bunch of stuff that is meant for the barracks ending up in here. The water skins and such. Quivers. That is another thing we have learned from our everything stockpile. But also that they just don't seem to know where to put the book bindings and such. We're only producing them upstairs, but they refuse to use the stockpile right next to them. Good thing these are dwarves and not elves. We would not be able to go through these bins with the elves. Pretty sure just bringing it up to them makes them upset. I don't know that you even have to offer to sell it to them. It's just like, oh, I see how it is. Okay, we're finally caught up to it. That's about as much picking through that as I want to do, so I'm going to say I don't want the bins, I don't want the bags. It's the seeds that were worth way too much. Okay, and choirs? No, we'll keep the choirs. Screw it. Will you trade? Yeah, he's pleased with it. That is enough. And yeah, our trader, the Cat Whisperer, is getting better. Both of those games were actually peak. Yeah, those were actually good games, but also, Life is Strange, I would have been very happy just watching as a movie. Heavy Rain and like Beyond Two Souls and stuff like that, those were actual games. The gameplay mechanics and the sort of mindset that it put you in to be playing it like that there was a point in making it a game as opposed to a movie. Like, Life is Strange. It's teetering on the edge of that for me. I don't think it was important for me that it be a game. You know? Like, I don't know if the medium was the best. Where Heavy Rain Beyond Two Souls, it felt right as a game. Even though they were kind of guiding you through it. And charging $50 to $60 for Call of Duty. And how often is it that they replace Call of Duty? Like, releasing the new version kind of thing. That is a factor. When it feels like a cash grab, it feels bad. And there's a way to do it that doesn't feel like a cash grab, that actually feels like there's a return in value, you know? Yeah, we really need our chief medical dwarf to come back. Every year, they can literally just release a base game and release an annual expansion with more maps, guns, and a new story. How much does the story really matter? But yeah, it's... like, if it was $50, $60 and, like, that's the FPS game you and your buddies play now for, like, the next few years, probably feels more worth it. Yeah, at least with Life is Strange, they had to write something, yeah. You catch my drift there, where it's like, story... They could AI generate it, and it probably nobody would notice. As much as that's looked down upon currently. I don't know that anybody would even notice the difference. I don't know that anybody even plays those game modes. There might be one diehard fan out there that's like, you're wrong, but... Okay. Not nobody, but most people... I've not heard of people playing it like that, you know, like for the story, like really invested in the story, as opposed to playing it as kind of a social FPS game. Bunch of Kaolinite. Making clay stuff is something I haven't really looked into yet either. But then I should be looking at all of this down here. Knew it. Take all these down. There's no reason this can't be separated right now. Can kind of outline everything the way that we have the smoothing. Leave those for now. Arm would play Karen's game. This is promising. High praise from Arm. Best games that ARM's played recently have been indie stuff, because they tend to have a good story and something kind of just old yet new, if that makes sense. I think I get that, yeah. It's like it's new concepts, but also it's old ways of thinking about games at this point. Not because they were bad ways of thinking about games, but because for whatever reason it stopped being incentivized or people just stopped doing it. Like Easter eggs. Easter eggs are way different now. Do we have our people back yet? No. We do have orderlies here. So they'll at least be sort of looking out for people, bringing them stuff. I'm guessing. Salutations, fellow human. Pick a game with a loop that almost worked and fix it into doing what you want it to do. Ah. ARM digs tactics systems. Loves turn-based tactics games. Graphic style bringing back some nostalgia is also a big thing. A lot of the oh, what are they called? Oh no, not another tantrum. Child, why are you so angry? Constant state of internal rage. Oh, it's this one. But an incredibly calm demeanor. But dour as a rule. Yeah, that is quite a bad combination. Sounds like Karen has something cool going. This is exciting. Staying away from Emily. Yes, yes, we've built this entire fort to keep her out. She's got a winner on her hands. Fingers crossed. That is awesome. Not that you need the luck. Oh boy. Dwarven child and a fisher dwarf are fighting now. The dwarven child punches the fisher dwarf in the upper body with her left hand, bruising the muscle, jamming the left false ribs through the right lung, and tearing the right lung. The fisher dwarf is having trouble breathing. Dwarven children! Dwarven children are a menace. A menace. We have them barely doing any chores. Man. I don't know what to do with that. You know what, I want that bit of ore there. Tears caught in my glasses. Thank you. Oh no. Why are they fighting? Okay. Why is the child in the cat room? I'm shocked that you were attacked. We need to do something about this child. We really do. As soon as the everybody is back, we're going to have to arrest that child. The nature of the internet is such that I feel the need to bite my tongue when it comes to religious stuff. But also, I feel like that's not really gonna work here. So I'm just gonna say, you know, like, I don't judge you. I think we're all trying to figure out what's going on here. It's a big question. Questions of God, questions of death, all of these existential questions are big questions. I would prefer if you do not speak as though you know something that you can't claim to know. You know, like, in my chat though. Like, I am Christian. The only father I acknowledge is God. I'm not trying to force anybody here to bend to my will, though. We all think the way that we think. It's not my place to tell you how to think or to judge you for thinking the way you do. But also, if we're gonna bring up religion, we're gonna talk about religion. We're not just gonna talk about one. I say as I dictate what the dwarves do with glee. Well, the dwarves, they like to run amok. Technically, I am a god of the dwarven world. That's a little different, man. Once you were in the chat of a small streamer and someone kindly invited you to witness the rise of Lovecraftian horrors from the sea. They told you there'd be food. To this day, you do not know if they were kidding or not. Were they offering calamari? Reminds me, there's a, like, Cthulhu version of Hey There, Delilah. I think it's called Hey There, Cthulhu. Yeah. Hey there, Cthulhu, down there in your sunken city. You're a billion light years distant, and the stars look very pretty from Relay. So close and yet so far away. That just reminds me of Join the Dark Side. We have cookies. It's a very considerate great old monster to do an RSVP. Okay. Thank you for clarifying your intentions there. Yeah, to me it sounded like you were saying, like, you were speaking in absolutes, like a Sith. We've got another Master Lasher. You've not seen that person ever again since, so you couldn't ask for clarification. Yeah. You'll never know. Do they even exist? Or were they just a manifestation? One of the Lovecraftian gods trying to recruit. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. Arm caught the reference. If you Google the name of the monster they were claiming to welcome, nothing comes up. When's the last time I Googled anything with 0 results? I feel like I have, like, once or twice, maybe, in my life, but it's always remarkable, like, what? When it does happen. Very strange. Maybe. Now, I didn't read Lovecraft's books. I know roughly of, like, you know, the concept of a Lovecraftian horror that is pretty well integrated into fiction in general at this point. Mancipus? Like a manta ray and an octopus? The kid was down here throwing shells, that's what it was. But that would have one S, it would. I wonder if they were being dirty. I'm gonna be real, that is my next thought. That is some strange spelling now that you mention it. Okay, so how would I do this? Gonna have to adjust things if I want to expand it because there's these 2 stockpiles next to each other. Oops. Somebody didn't get enough value in their guild hall. Who is it? That's them. They didn't get enough chairs. There's stones sitting on those chairs. Reminding myself that the type of block doesn't matter right now because we're gonna end up building up so many blocks that we'll have enough matching ones for rooms like that. 60 followers. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. The Cat Whisperer is still just the best cook. We could assign him there. It's right across from the trade depot. Would be awfully convenient to keep him there. Okay, I think down here is where the bulk of actual optimization will be able to be made. Let's see. It was, what is it, 9 by 12? 9 by 11 or 8 by 11? Feels like 8 by 11 fits. But we'll have to expand it this direction. And then kind of here. It's easier to show rather than say. Because I like the 2 in. Oh, we could go 1 in. 1 in feels right. We don't really need to close it off, but it feels better to me to actually limit access to certain areas, just in case something ends up on the stockpile that we don't want random enemies or infiltrators grabbing. Little easier to keep track of things. I'm wondering if Clicky is here today. Okay, we need 30 to finish that up. And yes, it is getting serious. This isn't really the place for that kind of debate. As I know yesterday, Clicky was saying, is that the religion door opened? Don't know, there seemed to be interest there. I'm wary of it because I know that part of several religious movements is trying to convince other people to also be a part of that religion, with many different angles to that. And I don't really want that happening here. I feel like that's disrespectful to the people here. Like, if I was to come on here and start trying to get everybody in here to be like trying to actively convince you all to be Christian if you're not, and stuff like that. It makes it a completely different stream. There's still time to rebrand as Just Chatting and make the title Let's Talk Religious Race Politics. Oh boy. Do I want to be the drama? No. Okay, here's the thing though. When it comes to like religion, politics, yeah, classism, like those big topics, but especially stuff that gets into politics, I don't feel comfortable talking about it because I'm in danger. Well, yes, yeah, there is the controversial nature of everything, and like feeling the need to very carefully pick my words because it's the internet. People are gonna take things how they're gonna take it. People are gonna take things out of context constantly just because they want to be angry, just because they want to argue, but like, I'm here to have a good time. And I also know that I don't know enough to tell you how to live your life or really like what to think. I can tell you how I think about things. I can share that. But I can't tell you how to think about things. And I also prefer that this not be a place where we try to tell each other how to think. Forgotten Beast is fighting again. He's trying to light a cave crocodile on fire. I think it worked. Come on, cave spiders, take refuge in my, area. Oh, there are several of them in here. They are taking refuge from the fire. I figure we're all looking for the truth. We're all looking for the truth, right? But everybody's gonna decide different things are. But I prefer to focus on the stuff we share. Like, we're all just trying to figure life out, man. That's something that it took me way too long to realize, is that people pretend that they have it together. People pretend that they are an adult in the room, but also everybody has moments of internal, I need an adult. I need an adult here, adult. I don't know what I'm doing is where everybody actually is. We convince ourselves that we know what we're doing because we get really good at, we're pattern recognition machines. Yeah, we figure out methods that we've seen and demonstrated to ourselves work again and again and again and reassure us, make us feel more confident in our abilities. But yeah, no matter who it is that you're looking at, it's the person behind the counter at a fast food restaurant, the president, like, they're just people. Just people trying to figure out how this works, how to operate in this world. It took me a long time to gain that confidence too. It's not about knowing the perfect answer. The likelihood that we take the best course of action, make the perfect decisions, the likelihood of that happening, especially consistently, is pretty low. So that's not really the goal, is it? Or it shouldn't be. It's kind of silly to make it the goal. You're never gonna complete the goal. Doable goals, though. Those are useful. So yeah, I certainly... I don't want to go there just to go there. I'm not trying to rage bait here. And also, if I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not really comfortable talking about it fully. Like, if it's in the... that level of discussion. Oh, dude. You have no idea how carefully I'm picking my words. No, I spent long enough observing Twitter. I'm not a fan of the way people can be about that. It feels like it's the kind of website where people will purposefully misinterpret everything. Whoops, deleted the whole thing. Let's just see if I can undo that. Yeah. Okay. People like to pick fights. Certainly. Okay, that feels like it works. It feels like it works. By 11. Yeah, it doesn't feel too messy. Oh, thank you all for talking. I wasn't expecting so many responses. Religion is a very personal subject, and in Uncle SD's opinion, should never be discussed publicly except in appropriate settings, churches, places of worship, etc., or in cultural classes. You're always surprised when people approach us on this topic. It always feels like awkward propaganda. Yeah. See, that last bit is kind of what I'm getting at. It feels disrespectful to me in this context, you know? Especially since, like, I didn't start out this Twitch channel being like, we talk about religion and heavy topics here. That doesn't mean that we won't end up talking about heavy topics, but also... what's the word? Proselytizing? In this context, it just... I figure even if your religion tells you that you should be trying to share with everybody, there's a way to do it where it will actually be received as more than just awkward propaganda like that. Because yes, a lot of the time, it does just read as awkward propaganda. And that's not something that people are going to be receptive to. So it doesn't even really follow the guidelines of the trying to, you know, share your wonderful God with everybody. Those kinds of ideas that are ingrained in religions. Genghis Karen likes water, only drinks water and protein shakes, basically. Good combination. Whenever I have a protein shake, it always makes me so thirsty. Arm tends to treat it like you would any personal or in real life topic, not something you'd discuss at a gaming stream. Yeah, like it feels really awkward here. Maybe in a just chatting. You know, if it's one of those days where we're going for heavy topics specifically. If we want to reflect on something, let's talk about pineapple on pizza. Can I say something that might get me canceled, guys? I really like pineapple on pizza. A good Hawaiian pizza, like bacon and all. Oh, salty and sweet is good. Also, pineapple is the snack that eats you back. It helps you to digest things. Karen is in shock. Why? Arm isn't even surprised. I am gremlin confirmed, yep. Yep. And not to be controversial, guys, but... Okay, I am allergic to so many different kinds of fruit. Pineapple is one of the few that I can eat. Clip me out of context, I dare you. The snack that eats you back. The snack that eats you back. Pineapple. Karen's husband's gotten good at League and now doesn't want to play with you anymore. Rude ass bitch. Uncle SD. There's so many things you would put on your pizza before pineapple. Countless things. Honestly, feta is really good on pizza too. Really. The way it, like, it doesn't just, like, melt like a lot of cheese does, but it kind of, like, crisps up in a really nice way. Arm, I agree with that thinking. So you carried him, and now he's too comp for you. That is so rude. He had no idea what you were doing for him. Let's take our win here, dudes. You have your time back. You can sit next to him and hang out and stream while he rages. Fair. He gets to rage, you get to have fun. I feel like we're actually winning. You know who wins? These dwarves. These dwarves win. They've got awesome names for their places. Like the Karen Hall. Arm, you weren't about this whole hot honey craze, but now you're kind of with it. I have not had it on pizza, but that sounds like it would be really good with certain combinations. For anyone who's ever watched or knows about the Vampire Diaries, let's debate a Sims 3 run where everything is modeled after Mystic Falls and we tell the whole story. I haven't watched Vampire Diaries. But honestly, Sims 3 is kind of more tempting than Sims 4 right now. See, the thing that bothers me here, if I go 8 by 13, Yeah, it just doesn't line up proper. Have 8 by 11 there. Here I went 8 by 12. That's where I made it uneven. Okay. We've got a pilgrim and another tantrum and another fight and some cats adopting the Duchess. We'll take it. Hot honey, not bad on pizza. The fact they have hot honey cereal is that's wild to me too. I did not realize that the craze had gone that wild. Yeah, Sims 3 is still the better of the two because Sims 4 was such a step back. Design-wise, they stripped it back to Sims 1 and it was felt. I feel like Sims 1 had more quirk. I don't know how to explain it other than that. Like, Sims 4 felt so much flatter. The open world in Sims 3 is phenomenal. Yeah, they did it in a really interesting way. Because, like, theoretically, like, back when we only had Sims 3 and we were looking at what Sims 4 was supposed to be, it looked like Sims 4 would be more open world. But it simply is not because they don't wander around properly. Sims 4 just felt hollow when you couldn't even run next door without a loading screen. Yet in The Sims 3, you can actually drive around the whole city and only have to load when traveling. You were excited for the Star Wars crossover in Sims 4, but it was such a letdown. I was actually just watching a video about like the history and drama of the Sims, just the Sims series in general. And Journey to Batuu made the list as one of like the most cursed things, just because it was the worst received expansion pack. It really disappointed people. Even Lil Simsy trash talks it, which I just love. She's so wholesome. To see her just absolutely trash an expansion pack like that, or you know, like anything The Sims like that, was so funny. It's notorious, yes, absolutely. It went down in history as one of the worst things to happen in The Sims 4. And like, The Sims 4 started without even all the life stages. Yes, we can work on the library here, make it nice. Yeah, not quite enough. That was a lot of blocks we used. We need to... I was planning on having a floor where we kind of just... basically destroy everything. Not quite like this, not quite like this. Okay, it's clearing out in there. Did they arrive back? No. Means people are just getting better, I guess. They just eventually healed. You just don't get how they knocked it out of the park with Sims 3 and then just Sims 4 is a graphical upgrade with nothing else to it. Yeah, not even, like, it's not just that it was a graphical update. It was a graphical update, but you traded everything else for it. And at that point, Sims 3 had so many expansion packs as well. But also, you didn't even get the base game experience that you got from The Sims 3 in Sims 4. You just got a bit of a graphical update. And, yeah, the modders did some crazy work with a bit of a graphical update. But is the gameplay better? I don't think so. And maybe that's just because that's how I like to play The Sims, is ideally my Sims have enough personality and enough autonomy that if I set something up for them, like I make them a cool house, and then I'd like to just be able to hang out and see what they do. That would be fun for me, just when I give them freedom, what do they do? That's how I like to play The Sims. You had a depressed fellow go to an Asian retreat, learned martial arts, then came back home, built a secret lair in his basement, and started growing tree people. In Sims 3, in Sims 4, you were just a streamer, because it means you didn't have to leave your lot and deal with loading screens. Yeah, the loading screens were really annoying. They've been milking Sims 4 for how long? 12 years almost, yeah. With no plans of making Sims 5 or anything else. They've had several projects that they've worked on that kind of just fell through. Because, yeah, they're making so much money off of just adding a little bit more, like, just playing us, basically. They're stringing us along. And now with the buyout and stuff like that, I personally am not going to be buying anything new for The Sims until that whole thing resolves. I want to see how that cookie crumbles. Alright, we finally finished that area. We could prettify that one too. Happier our nobles are, the less they'll bother us. But we've certainly got other stuff to be doing that I would put off any other day, but today I'm supposed to be doing it. Like right here, it just doesn't line up like it should. And I know that's something that is going to annoy me if I don't fix it. any kind of block will replace them. Sims 4 has only been around since 2022. No way. I do not believe that. No, 2014. The Sims 4 was originally released in 2014. But if you're talking about as far as the expansion packs making it a complete game, yeah, probably only really could be considered caught up to Sims 3 within the past few years, and that's with expansion packs that you gotta pay for, and features locked behind different expansion packs. 12 years of EA DLCs. It went free to play in 2022. Hello, Space Pants. Welcome back. And yeah, I was like, that can't be right. Because I remember, like, I was still in school. I was still in school. Oh, man. Probably why they waited so long on the high school years packs and stuff like that. If it's been too recent that you were in school, it's not gonna hit the same. You school. Yeah. Thing is, I love learning. I really do love learning. The worst part about school for me was having to wake up, basically, having to live to somebody else's schedule. That's why I'm a streamer now. I do best when I am the one making the decisions around my schedule. It's like, I've even managed to be pretty consistent here. I've missed a handful of days streaming that I meant to be streaming. But I'm even managing to get consistent about when I'm waking up and stuff like that. I wasn't able to do that before. Is Inzoi any good, or is it just like the bad things from The Sims 4 in a different package? I heard a lot of hype around it at first because they were having streamers play it, basically. Like, whenever they have content creators do the marketing for stuff, some hype can build. But I've also heard some pretty negative things about the actual gameplay experience from people that, like, got the game and started trying to play it. They kind of, like, ran out of things to do, is the sound of it. Plus, I gotta look into it, because I was looking into Paralives at the same time. It's either Inzoi or Paralives that they use AI-generated stuff. And that was part of the, like, people are choosing with their wallets whether they want AI-generated content. I think that's the only way to do it, really. Why are we all fighting? I think they fell down the stairs because of the buzzards or something. Buzzard attack, man. How's the fort going? We're doing alright. We finally finished this hallway. We are waiting and waiting and waiting for our chief medical dwarf to be back. I don't know if they're ever coming back from that raid. Can we tell them to come back? Come here. No. No special orders. What happened there? Did I just wake it up? Okay, no. It was just readjusting to tell me that they're over there still. But yeah, we have several squads that have been gone on a mission for quite a while. Hey, they did just get back. That is some timing. Here we go. We finally get to read what happened. Really? Excuse me. That's all? In the late autumn of 110, the born gem slipped into road hated, undetected by the lonesome nightmares of the malice of balls. In the late autumn of 110, Mindful Bolt stole treasure. That is a whole bunch of treasure, I guess. Are they all back, or is it just... Did I call that one back? It doesn't look like we have a mission going right now. So that should be them back. Or coming back. Maybe I glitched it. I have no idea. We have even more turkey. Okay, it looks like they are traveling. But that's probably the combat over at least. Yeah, I opted not to try Inzoi or Paralives yet. I kind of just want to hear how that goes. So I've heard some stuff that it makes me pretty skeptical. Arm hasn't heard good things about it either. Reviews say it just feels lifeless and hollow, but maybe one of those that some like it and some don't. Looks nice. Fair. Fair. I think one of the reasons that I opted against Paralives is because it doesn't go with the style of allowing autonomy to the characters that I like. Because it makes you choose, like, what of these options happens. And I'd prefer it if the character chose. You know, like, I don't want to choose that. I want to get to know them by seeing what their decisions are. As ever, we just need blocks, it feels like. Just so many blocks. See, these ended up shifted down. These are not shifted down. Like, nothing is lining up. But this is 8x11. This is 711. I just didn't finish, did I? 8 by 11. Okay. Then these workshops... Yeah, they don't look like they should line up, but they do. But this one will not be able to go over here. It just kind of goes around here. And then it has to go either this way or up. Fuck it, that'll be fine. Yeah, Inzoi, they seem to have really focused on the look of it. That's a bunch of people that looks like could be back. Yes, okay. So, Captain of the Guard, Tobal of Avaz. It would really be nice if I could target him from here. The Chief Medical Dwarf, Erdim Etesnish. We need them to not be in a squad anymore. There's so many dwarves. Alright, it tells us it's a Chief Medical Dwarf. He's in the Dangerous Arches. It would be nice if it told us that this was the Chief Medical Dwarf in the recruit view, like here. But I guess he must have become the Chief Medical Dwarf after we put him in here. Because it does say it there. That or I was not paying attention. There's gotta be plenty that aren't in a squad yet now. Let's have the lie maker replace him. And he doesn't get to be in a squad. Who else was it? It was the Captain of the Guard. We also need him not to leave. Tobal. Where are you at, Tobal? And then we're gonna have to look at the justice menu. Tobal is in the blockaded rights. Oh! He's actually the leader. Whoops. They're skilled at one thing, they're skilled at another, I suppose. Peasant, you get to be the leader. Good for you, buddy. Do we have blocks? Yes, we have more blocks. We love blocks. Everybody's hurting. How's the hospital looking? Are we actually treating people in the hospital yet? We got 2 bone doctors, no diagnosticians. That's not good. Where is the Chief Medical Dwarf? Just make a random administrator. A doctor, I guess. Doctor doesn't seem to be a skill set in this. Like, they can be surgeons. They can be bone doctors. They can be all kinds of stuff. But they can't be doctors. Not by skill. We've got enough that we can have multiple of each. That way somebody should be available pretty much all the time. Several diagnosticians would probably be a good idea too. The fish dissector, I guess, would know a few things. Alright, hopefully that will be more people treated. That whole bar fight incident will probably have caused some injuries. Yes, marble. I'm wanting more marble. Just have them dig. Just out of paranoia. I'm gonna add some supports. We can even make it a nice color. Somebody left their spear in the tavern. I think a kid just got a hold of it. Watch out, man. That next tantrum's gonna be bad. We have a lot of traffic between the staircase and the tavern. They are at least using the library. Do we? Yeah, we got some socializing dwarves over here. They're having intellectual discussions. They are praying to their various deities. Oh no. Okay, this child is a problem. We need to go here. Any witnesses to anything? So you're telling me nobody saw anything ever? Nobody saw nothing. Okay, then I'm interviewing random people. Even little Karen is getting interviewed. Even a baby is getting interviewed. Interrogated. Yeah. Turning the light on it. You see it? You saw what happened, didn't you? There's the kid. Maybe the children will rat on each other. We need more information. They need to find out that that child is a crime lord. It's a plot they'll just have to uncover gradually, though. I guess we could scooch it up and just get rid of that passage. Again, if I don't do it now, it's probably going to annoy me later, and that's kind of the things that I'm trying to work on right now. It works out. It is weird having the kind of double space. base here. But it works out. We have another petition. Oh, the Geared Hall has many members in Wheel Sound. Now requires a grand guild hall. Hall designed for Crafters Guild. That was over here, right? Yeah. They want a lot more value, and since they are the craftsmen, kind of makes sense, doesn't it? I will give them some of their nice artifact level stuff that's been donated to the civilization. Are at 2 hours though. We have done something today that we will thank ourselves for tomorrow though. That is basically what my one goal here was this hallway. And now also just doing stuff that we're gonna be happy that we did later on. What's another 27 minutes? My belly is rumbling. Kind of rumbling that only hands could satisfy. Gonna have a lot of handless dwarves if I stay. People just hanging out in the tavern still injured. Okay, they've been sutured at least. In traction. Alright, so they are actually treating people in the hospital now. People must have come back in. Ast Blown Bell. That feels like a rough name right there. As far as names that would get you made fun of. I think I'll get rid of the little overhang that I was doing. Chromite. Pretty. Sounds like it could be useful for other things, though. Making furniture and building. Actually, it's just pretty. That's great news. Alright. I must stop there. As much fun as I had with Dwarf Fortress. And it is always fun gaming with you. Thank you for making it such a lovely time. And the fun and interesting docs as always. I wish everybody a very merry time zone and a good rest of your day.